Dear students, before initiating the formal recruitment procedure, there are several pre-recruitment considerations. Pre-recruitment considerations means those things which we need to consider before starting the recruitment procedure formally. There are several pre-recruitment procedures, but we have to consider few of them. Consider 3 factors before embarking on a recruitment campaign. 3 factors are very important. First factor, how much money is available, because money is the major resource in the organization and money can play a very vital role in the recruitment procedure. So you must know that how much money is available for that particular recruitment procedure. Second factor, how quickly the opening must be filled. Sometimes you need to fill the opening in a very urgent manner, and sometimes you have a sufficient time to fill any particular vacancy. So the first factor was the money, and the second factor is the time, that how much time you have to fill any particular position. The third factor, whether a wide audience must be reached, you have to answer yes or no, and according to that pre-recruitment consideration, you have to set your recruitment procedure. First of all, we will consider recruitment budget. The amount of money allocated for recruitment can greatly affect your options. There are a number of recruitment sources, there are a number of recruitment options. Some recruitment options are cost effective and some recruitment options are very costly. So you need to consider recruitment option keeping in mind the recruitment budget. For example, display ads and executive search firms can cost several thousand rupees, sometimes with no guarantee of attracting a substantial number of qualified applicants. These are very costly recruitment procedures and they may not lead to the best qualified applicants sometime. In contrast, some of the most effective recruitment sources such as employee referrals and walk-ins cost very little. These are the cost-effective recruitment procedures. Employee referrals and walk-ins, they sometimes don't cost any money to you, but they can bring a very qualified and more suitable applicant for any particular position in your organization. So you need to compare and contrast different recruitment options, keeping in view the recruitment budget. But the question is that of how we can calculate, how we can determine the recruitment budget. Mike Sweeney, he was the management consultant of a T. Williams Consulting Incorporation, very famous recruitment consulting firm, shares a 3-step recruitment cost ratio formula to help organizations to determine their recruitment budget. What is that 3-step formula? The first step of the formula is the process begins with determining total recruitment cost. How we can determine total recruitment cost. There are a number of factors, but 4 cost areas are more common. They are more major cost areas. First one is very common, fixed overhead recruitment expenses. You need to know that how many fixed recruitment expenses can be required for this particular position. Then there are sourcing expenses, and these sources expenses are attached to the specific resources. It depends on the resources which you are using for the recruitment, and it depends on the different recruitment options. So it varies with the different recruitment options. Then the third cost area is the signing bonuses, and the fourth area is expenses attached with travel or relocation. There are some recruitment options and sources which need more travel expense and the relocation expense, and some are very cheap. Sometimes you don't need to move even from your own office to recruit someone for any particular position. So you need to keep in mind these 4 cost areas whenever you have to consider the recruitment budget, whenever you have to determine the recruitment budget for any particular recruitment procedure in your organization. The next step is to determine the total compensation involved in the recruitment. That can be the sum of the annual base starting compensation for all positions which you are going to fill through this particular recruitment session. And then the recruitment cost ratio can be determined by dividing the total recruitment cost by the total compensation figure. The total recruitment cost which you have calculated in the start can be divided by the total compensation figure, and you can get a recruitment cost ratio at the end. And that cost ratio is one of the major determinant of recruitment budget for recruitment procedures in your organization.